At the radical transparency revolution, how brutal honesty transforms everything. I want to take you on a journey today, a journey that began when I had the extraordinary privilege of sitting down with Apryl Jones, a visionary who has fundamentally reshaped how we think about professional success through her unwavering commitment to radical transparency. April isn't just a thought leader. She's a movement creator who's challenging centuries of business orthodoxy with a revolutionary proposition that our greatest power might come not from strategic concealment, but from brutal, authentic honesty. What makes April's work so transformative is her courage to question everything we've been taught about power dynamics in professional spaces. While others preach calculated vulnerability, she embodies the raw, unfiltered truth that changes lives and transforms organizations. Her impact extends far beyond theory. She's creating breathing room for thousands of professionals, particularly Black women, to step fully into their authentic power. Now, let me ask you a question that might feel uncomfortable. When was the last time you were completely brutally honest in a professional setting? Not the polished, strategic honesty we've been taught to deploy, but the kind that makes your heart race because it feels dangerous, the kind that makes you wonder, will they still respect me if they see all of me? For generations, we've been indoctrinated with a particular vision of professional success. Keep your cards close, never let them see you sweat. Information is power, so guard it carefully. Vulnerability is weakness. Transparency is risk. This mindset has dominated our workplaces, our business schools, our mentorship. It's the water we've all been swimming in for so long that we've stopped noticing it. But what if everything, absolutely everything, we've been taught about professional success is fundamentally wrong? What if the path to true power isn't through strategic concealment, but through radical transparency? What if our obsession with projecting strength is actually our greatest weakness? This isn't just philosophical musing. We're living through a profound shift in how business functions. In an age where consumers can research your company in seconds, where employees share workplace experiences in real time, where authenticity is the new currency, the old playbook isn't just outdated, it's self destructive. The insights I gained from my conversation with April completely transformed my understanding of how transparency functions in professional spaces. And I believe they have the power to transform yours too. Let me share three revelations that challenge everything we think we know about professional success. First, transparency builds trust in ways nothing else can. When you're brutally honest with colleagues, clients, and partners, even when that honesty is uncomfortable, you create a foundation that becomes unshakable. This isn't just feel good rhetoric, it translates directly to bottom line results that conventional approaches simply cannot achieve. Second, authenticity drives innovation that conformity kills. When people feel free to express their unfiltered perspectives without fear, they generate solutions that would never emerge in environments where people are busy maintaining facades and managing impressions. And third, perhaps most revolutionary, vulnerability is not weakness, but the ultimate form of power. By embracing vulnerability, we create space for human connection in settings that have become mechanically transactional. And that connection becomes the catalyst for everything that matters: collaboration, creativity, commitment. These insights are particularly transformative for Black professionals and entrepreneurs who have historically been forced to navigate environments that weren't designed with their experiences in mind. The pressure to code switch, to conform, to perform perfection, it exacts a devastating toll on well being and limits the full expression of brilliance. But these aren't abstract theories. Let me share how this approach transforms real businesses and careers. Consider the story of a Black woman entrepreneur who launched a sustainable fashion brand in an industry notorious for secrecy and cutthroat competition. From day one, she questioned the environmental impact of fast fashion and decided to build something radically different, a brand with transparency at its core. While competitors guarded information about their supply chains like state secrets, she took the exact opposite approach. She implemented completely transparent supply chain practices, documenting every step from raw material to finished product. When production delays happened, as they inevitably do, she didn't hide behind vague excuses. She explained exactly why. When costs increased, she shared the specific reasons with customers. Traditional business wisdom would predict disaster. After all, wasn't she giving competitors valuable information? Wasn't she risking customer disappointment by admitting imperfection? But what happened instead was remarkable. Customer loyalty didn't just increase, it skyrocketed. People didn't just buy her products, they became advocates for her brand. Trust didn't just exist, it became her most valuable asset. This translated to sustainable growth, even as other fashion startups struggled to survive. Her brand became a model for the entire industry, influencing much larger companies to adopt similar practices. By embracing transparency rather than fearing it, she didn't just build a successful business, she helped transform an entire industry. Or consider another powerful example April shared with me, a Black owned tech startup that prioritized transparency in its hiring and management practices. This company began with a mission to create a more inclusive tech industry, emphasizing radical honesty from day one. As they scaled, growing from 10 employees to over 100 in just 18 months, they faced the challenge that many growing businesses encounter: how to maintain their open culture while expanding rapidly. Their solution wasn't to retreat to conventional management approaches. Instead, they doubled down on transparency. They implemented regular town hall meetings where leadership shared the company's challenges, not just its victories, with complete honesty. They created transparent feedback loops that allowed employees at all levels to contribute ideas and express concerns without fear of retribution. When mistakes were made, they were acknowledged openly, not buried or blamed on individuals. The result? While other tech companies struggled with the great resignation, they maintained employee retention rates that defied industry standards. Their transparent approach became a competitive advantage in recruiting top talent, and they became a model for inclusive workplace practices throughout the tech industry. These examples reveal something profound about transparency that April articulated so beautifully. Transparency isn't just about being honest when it's convenient, it's about creating systems and cultures where honesty is the default, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means admitting mistakes, even when it means sharing information that traditional business wisdom says you should keep private. This approach requires courage. It requires a willingness to challenge conventional wisdom. And it requires faith that authenticity will be rewarded in the long run, even if it sometimes creates short term discomfort. For Black professionals in particular, This approach offers liberation from the exhausting demands of code switching and performing. It creates space to bring your whole self to work, to contribute the unique perspectives that drive innovation and positive change. But let's be clear, strategic transparency doesn't mean sharing everything with everyone all the time. It means being thoughtful about what you share, when you share it, and how you share it. It means creating cultures where honesty is valued and vulnerability is seen as strength, not weakness. The power of this approach becomes even more evident when we consider how it transforms relationships with customers and clients. In an age where consumers increasingly make purchasing decisions based on company values, transparency creates authentic connections that translate to loyalty no marketing campaign can manufacture. When a company is honest about its challenges, admits its mistakes, and shares its journey openly, it creates trust that feels almost unbreakable. People don't expect perfection, they expect authenticity, and they reward it with their loyalty and advocacy. This is particularly powerful for Black owned businesses and Black professionals who often face additional scrutiny and higher expectations. By embracing transparency rather than trying to project flawless perfection, they create space for genuine connection based on shared humanity rather than impossible standards. What's most revolutionary about April's insights is how they challenge our fundamental understanding of power. Traditionally, we've been taught that power comes from controlling information, from knowing things others don't know, and carefully managing what we share. But in today's interconnected world, this approach is increasingly ineffective. Real power comes not from hoarding information, but from creating environments where information flows freely, where trust flourishes, and where authentic human connection drives collaboration and innovation. This shift represents nothing less than a complete reimagining of what professional success looks like. It's not about climbing corporate ladders by any means necessary. It's about creating workplaces and businesses that honor our humanity while delivering exceptional results. For Black women in particular, who have long been expected to be strong in ways that deny their full humanity, this approach offers liberation. It creates space to drop the superwoman cape, to embrace softness alongside strength, to prioritize well being alongside achievement. So I challenge you today, what would happen if you embrace radical transparency in your next meeting, your next presentation, your next difficult conversation? What if you stopped performing perfection and started practicing authenticity? What if you viewed vulnerability not as something to avoid, but as your greatest professional asset? The world doesn't need more perfectly polished professionals hiding behind carefully constructed facades. It needs leaders brave enough to be real, to speak truth, to create spaces where others can do the same. This is the revolution Apryl Jones is leading, a complete reimagining of professional success based on authenticity rather than performance, on connection rather than competition, on trust rather than control. And this revolution isn't just changing individual careers, it's transforming entire industries. It's creating workplaces where people can thrive as their authentic selves rather than burning out trying to maintain exhausting facades. The choice is yours. You can continue playing by the old rules, rules that were never designed for everyone to win. Or you can step into a new paradigm where your authenticity becomes your greatest strength. Because in the end, the most powerful thing you can be is precisely who you are. unfiltered, uncompromised, unapologetic in your truth. The world is waiting for exactly that version of you. Thank you